Welcome to Rauta's Underground Trio. Once again, 3 different albums, 3 different styles, and I guess, in a way, 3 different audiences as well. 1 melodic death metal one, 2 black metal ones, but these 2 are quite different from one another as well. Let's go in worst to best order according to my own opinion. Feel free to disagree, that's your job anyway. First we'll go to Sweden with the debut album by a band called Dark Reflection. That's not so dark reflection what you're getting here from my microphone now, but let that joke slide for a bit. This band has been there quite a few years, but it took quite some time for them to figure out what to do with their debut album, and here it is. I can pretty much say this one. Whenever I started spinning this album for the first time, I was like, this is sounding so Swedish that if you would sound more Swedish, it would have to come with mashed potatoes and meatballs. I kid you not, this Everlasting Night is so Swedish sounding that you instantaneously start thinking of Amon Amarth and the like. Yes, this is melodic death metal, that takes me back to the 90s, late 90s and all that stuff, and that can be either a blessing in disguise or just, I don't know, kind of a curse. Now the thing here is, while there is nothing wrong with melodic death metal as such, it really needs to be done properly in order to make an impact. That is, you kind of have to have the catchy melodic part, you kind of have to have the death metal thing going on in order to sound, well, death metallic. Now basically, these guys have all it takes to do a decent melodic death metal album. I mean, the production is quite solid, they have the balance between more heavier parts, more death metallic parts if you will, and of course those melodies. But unfortunately everything here sounds like leftover parts from Amon Amarth. It's almost like a diluted version of that. Don't get me wrong, it's not like this album is bad, but it's very, very mediocre in so many ways. The choral vocals are quite monotone, and after a while you kind of start like feeling like there is no variation to it. And when it comes to the melodies, they are not exactly catchy. They are not exactly good. There's something that you totally listen without problem. But, I mean, after a couple of spins already, I was like getting a little bit bored. I mean, don't get me wrong. Amon Amarth is not all the way around a superb band. But the best, they're really, really the best in the genre. However, they have also their kind of a lukewarmish part where it's just decent and not that great. And this is not exactly even that. It's almost like understanding how to make a pizza. You have the dough, you have the cheese, you have the tomato and whatever ingredient you're gonna put in it. But you also have to be able to fry it. You also have to figure out which combination of which seasoning is going to work. And not everybody is able to do it. Or maybe you're using kind of a chorizo or, I don't know, minced meat or whatever. Maybe you're just lacking the taste. This is unfortunately what's happening with Dark Reflection. Basically, it's supposed to be good, but in the essence it's more like very mediocre in the genre known as melodic death metal. Only for fanatics of the given style, but if you're at least a little bit picky with your choice of melodic death metal, maybe this is something that you're gonna wait for mature a bit and wait for these guys to come back with a better album. Sorry to say, but it's only 6 out of 10 for me. Then we go to Poland with a band called Wesele. Wesele, not sure about the pronunciation, obviously. Polish is not my strong suit, never had it in school and all that stuff. This is the debut album by the band, however, and this is something that could be considered either mid-tempo black metal in general, or then you can just call it atmospheric black metal. Both are pretty descriptive, because that's exactly what's going on with this album with only a few songs and less than 40 minutes of music. Half of the songs are just like mid-lengthy, which means around 4 or 5 minutes, and pretty nicely going on with that. Some of the songs are way too long for their own good. I mean, the thing here is, they kind of have the MGLA thing going on, but not exactly the same way it's gonna be super good. The atmosphere is right there, and with that, this album is able to cope. This album is able to entertain you, if you will, if you're able to use that word for black metal one. But when it comes to those memorable riffs, sometimes it feels like this band has none. And some of those riffs they have, which are quite okay, but not great, they keep milking and milking for half an eternity. For example, I think it was track number 4, whatever it's called, Pustka. It lasts for almost 10 minutes, and they keep milking the same riffs as if they were just like some Metallica. And please don't do it for 10 minutes. You keep like, okay, we need some 30 repetitions with this riff. It's not that sounding that good. I mean, if it was really, really killer good one, maybe that in case. But in this case, it seems like the band fell too much in love with their own stuff. And nobody bothered to tell them it's not that good. I mean, it's decent, but more like a filler riff rather than a killer riff. And that's when you end up like, this is not gonna cut it. So easy to listen. I mean, the thick sound is quite there. The basic black metal vocals are right there. And none of this album annoys me. But the amount of repetition with certain parts and the lack of, well, hit material, the killer material, the great songs, that is something like that puts me a little bit off. So definitely the side of decent things, but not good enough. Which brings us to the best of the pile. This one is Dominance, also from Poland. There are other bands with the same name. So in case you're searching for links to this one or unable to click the ones that I have in the description box, make sure this is a Polish one. This is also a relatively new band. Seems kind of a side project, this, considering that all these guys have different bands, which are older. So I'm calling this one side project, even though, who knows, maybe later on this will be some kind of a main band and all that stuff. But Slaughter at Human Offerings at the New Age of Pan. What up? Title. Well, this is fierce and fast black metal, aggressive and all that stuff. One can even say this is some kind of a Polish Marduk or Dark Funeral, all that stuff. Not that melodic as Dark Funeral, not maybe as grim as Marduk, but definitely right up, roughly up that alley with the fast tempo, intense black metal with very fierce stuff, and also some keyboards in the mix and a little bit melodics. This is the kind of a winning pattern you have here, except that this could really have also even more killer songs. None of these songs really straight out like, wow. But there's like solid songs all the way through. None of the stuff is boring here. And it's actually, you know, making some kind of a smaller waves. I mean, this is definitely something that you could imagine going back because it's like giving the intensity, energy, violence, aggression, all that stuff. And, you know, dealing with the blows left and right. But what it separates from this one, from the truly great one, is that, well, these songs could be even more, I don't know, going underneath your skin. That is, being even more memorable. Well, once again, whether you want to call it catchy or hit songs, killer songs, or whatever, goes beyond the point. We're not here to talk about semantics, but I'm saying this actually has the good stuff. It only needed to be a little bit more memorable. I mean, Ender Marduk, and you all know what I'm talking about here. But definitely, this one is the most interesting one of all these piles. So one, quite okay, melodic death metal one 7 out of 10, atmospheric mid-tempo black metal one, and one something closer to 8, but I would say 7.5. Fast tempo black metal one with intensity and aggression. Now, links are provided in the description box. You go link them and listen to them and figure out which ones suit your needs or your taste, whatever. And I hope you like some of them. If not, well, too bad and all that stuff. Catch you later with more reviews coming your way. Take care. Bye-bye.